Hey there, welcome to this video. So in this video, I'll be showing us how to use parameter dashboard actions to filter across multiple sheets. So I have a peculiar data set, and in this data set, I have a customer historic information. So this customer information is about the customer orders, and in this data set, apart from the customer orders, I have the bulk order delivery, the bulk and the good details, the installment plan, and insurance info. So what exactly I want to build is that I want to be able to view the customer information based on all these four other tables. So when I query the customer account number, I want to be able to view the customer order information, the good details in that order ID, and the rest of the information. So I just want to query a simple data or a simple row or single row of customer information across multiple data sets. So again, this is how it's going to start. I want a search page. So this is where I will be able to search my customer number or customer ID. So if, for example, I search this customer number, all the other IDs attached to that customer will be revealed. I want to be able to pick or select one of the other ID, and I'll be able to view the insurance details, the good details within that order, and the instrumental plan if there is any, and so on. Insurance information on that order ID. If I click on this one, second one, I should also be able to see relevant information on the screen. This is particularly useful for store owners where, for example, customer call in, they want to get some information about that bulk orders and you just query. It's good for customer service purposes as well. All right, cool. So I have the search page. Again, from the explanation, a select action should be visible. So if I select, I should be able to see. So a dashboard action will be implemented in Tableau. And also, I should be able to filter all across multiple sheets. And why I will be needing parameter action, we'll be seeing it in a bit. Uh, because the parameter action comes into play because when there is a dashboard action, which is selection, there should be a filtering across all other sheets as well. And that's what we'll be implementing with the parameter. All right, cool. So I have another sheet created for the customer orders. I have the good details. I have the installments plan, insurance info sheet as well, according to all the data sets and tables listed here. So I've placed them within each of them within a dashboard and on and we go on. So I'll come to the search bar, and this is where I'll be able to search. So what will I be searching here? I want to search the customer order or customer number and the order ID. So let's go to this sheet, and that will be based on a filter. A filter will help us to be able to search within these two. So I'll put in the customer number into the filter pane, and I will say use all. So again, I want a wildcard selection. So if it contains anything, please do bring it out for me. And if you want exact match, you can select this, but most times you can use parameter for the exact match action. So I'll click OK, and I'll bring other ID as well as a filter, and I'm going to be able to review these filters accordingly. So let's just put this in there. So when I put this to show filter and also show filter here, I'll change this to multiple value single drop down, multiple value drop down, not single drop down. Yeah, this one. So once I do this, I want to be able to search and say, for example, order. It should be able to let me deselect all. For example, if I say ORD, you can see because it's on white cards, it's suggesting everything for me. And if I do 00, it's still suggesting everything for me. But I will put 1 at the end, and it's going to give me, you can see his white card search is giving me everything that contains 1. I'll put 0, and when I select this, I should be able to see the information for that customer. So and this one as well. Okay, so these are all the customer. Okay, so that's based on order ID base basically. So if I search for the customer number, let me put this at the top because that's the basis for the order ID. I'll clear the order ID and select all. So I want to be able to search primarily based on the customer number. So I will choose the first one, and there we have it. We have multiple orders in there. So what I want to do now is when I select this, I want this is the default screen. I want this to be the default screen, which is the dashboard. So once I select that, I want customers to, or the service center or the store owner, to be able to click this. And once it's clicked, then it will take me to the next dashboard. This one, I'll be able to view customer orders. Oh, these are the orders for that customer. So a dashboard action will be implemented and a filtering will be done across. I don't want to come in here and doing the selection on my own. After bringing me here, I just want to see just that customer information. Cool. So much said about that. So let's just come straight to this and review the dashboard. The filters we've already applied. I will show filters here and I will review customer number. I will again come in here and review, let's see, order ID. Cool. We can leave as is. It's no big deal, but we can change to multiple values, multiple value drop down as we progress. Cool. So what do I do next if I want the selection on this? So I need to, on the search bar, let's just do this, and that should be this one, customer, and this one as well. All right, so moving on in the video, I've been able to yank off the filters I reviewed in this dashboard previously. So the customer number and the order ID has been removed, and this is because I want to explain how we're going to be using filters to implement what we'll be using on the dashboard, or how the dashboard needs to be function. All right, let's come to the page. For the search page, we have two filters in there, the customer number and the order ID. So looking at the functionality of the dashboard, we want to be able to click or search for a customer number, and we want that customer number to be reviewed across all sheets. And that's quite straightforward. So all we need to do is to come to this customer number and come to apply to sheet and say, all using this data source, we're going to tick that, and it's going to apply that filter across all other sheets. You can see is reviewed in the customer orders sheet, the goods details, and the other sheets as well. So once that is implemented, we are good to go that, yes, once we search this customer, we are good to go to have all the information on the sheets. We don't need to start filtering on each of the sheets. Now, but we don't know which of the order ID will be clicked for information to be reviewed. We want the store owner or the user of this dashboard to be able to click the order ID, and also that filter will be applied. So the filter will be applied after selection has been made, not before selection. We don't know which of them will be selected, so we want the filtering to be applied based on selection, and that means we're going to apply the dashboard action based on selection for filtering, which is also straightforward. However, when we click on this one, we want it to go into the sheets. So how do we make sure that our filtering applies to all other sheets or all other dashboards as well? So that's where we're going to be using the parameter, and I'll be showing us in this video. So cool. Another action we'll be adding to this one. We have two dashboard actions to be applying on this order ID. The second dashboard action will be a go to action, because once this is clicked, we want it to go to the first dashboard, and the user of the dashboard starts their journey by seeing the customer details, and they move on each of the dashboards, which is fine. So let's take it one step at a time. Well, yeah, we've been able to apply the first filter. So how do we prepare the dashboard actions to apply filtering? So what we do is to create a parameter. And in this parameter, let me show you what you're going to create. It's just going to be a string type of parameter, and it's going to be empty. The current value will be empty. There will be no value, but it's just going to be taking strings in there. So we're going to be using this parameter in a calculation. So in that calculated field, let me search what I've created, and that's what we'll be using. So we have this in here for the calculated field, and in this calculated field we will use that parameter we've created, and it's going to be saying if that parameter is empty, which is the current situation or the default value, then let that let that parameter be added to the order ID. So in other words, you're going to be joining the parameter which is empty, the value of the parameter which is empty, with the order ID. So in other words, the order ID will be the only value in the parameter. Take note, there is no space in here. It's just single quotation. Let me just put it again for you to see. Just make sure it's not double quotes. Just put it and another quote. You can see that there is no space in between. So in that situation, once we click on once we check the value of the parameter, when it is empty, we're going to replace it with the order ID. Else, if that parameter is the same as the order ID, that means if there's a selection that has been made and we have 001 in there, okay, then replace it with the second selection, which is another order ID, another instance of the order ID. So if I select another order ID and I realize that there is something in there, then replace this one with the one this new one that I just selected with the old one. So that's what this does. Replace the existing value with the new value. But else, if the parameter has existing order, that's the only order in there, just give it the order ID as is. Let it be. If it's still the same thing, let it be. Okay, so that's the meaning of this calculated field. Let's go over it again. So if the value of the string of the parameter is a string and is empty, put in what we select, which is a order ID. Else, if it is the same thing with the order, then replace it. That's if there's a selection, replace it with with the new one I select. So if it's a new one, if it's a order, just replace. Else, leave the information as is. So yeah, that is what is going on with our parameter, and we'll be using that parameter within the details in this search, in this sheet, in this search page. The reason why we are putting this in details is because we'll be able to use it in our parameter action. Now, much said, let's move ahead. So what will we doing? How do we now filter based on that? We're going to be creating another calculated field that will compare the order ID and this value of this calculated field. If they are the same thing, then please filter based on that. So I will just say for filter, and I can just you can put a more descriptive name. I'll put for filter order ID, and we're fine. So I will now say if our filter for parameter, which is a calculated field, is equal to the order ID, then let's use string. So this should return true. I want it to always have true as my value, and I'll put it in this one. So it's true or false, but I want it to always be untrue. All right. I'll say okay. But again, let's be careful. We're not going to be using that filter in this one. Sorry about that. So it will be on other fields. So for filter will be on other fields. It will be on true, apply, on true. So, and I can just apply to other sheet, but no worries. I can just drag and drop on true, apply. On true, apply. And that's fine. We'll save our sheet. All right, so let's review what our value of our parameter is at the moment. It's still empty, right? Let's go to the dashboard and do our parameter action. We can review this one. Okay, let's review the other ID as well, because we'll be searching on that as well. Yeah, we're fine now. So these are the two filters we should have on our search page, and I'll put it on multiple value drop down. Cool. So let's just show the value of our parameters so that we will be able to track what we're doing. And go to dashboard actions and add actions, and we will say parameter, change parameter. So when our parameter is changed, it's going to filter on that selection. Again, we're also going to add filtering on it. So, but let's just use change parameter action first. So yeah, our search page will be the source sheet, and our target sheet will be, or target parameter will be this, because we have applied it. And what are we going to be filtering on? We're going to be filtering based on the order ID. Okay, we can choose maximum, doesn't matter. So it will be triggered based on selection. So on our search page, we want this action to take place, and our search page or sheets is only sheet on our dashboard, and we want you to use this one, this calculated field we've created, to say replace and hold all the other ones. And that's what is in our detail, and we want the source field to be this, but let's just see if it works. So let's select this. So once we select this, you can see that our parameter ID has changed to what we select. Okay, if we do this as well, you see it has changed because our calculated field is working. So based on what we've selected, all right, we should be able to filter. Let's now see if that filter works well. You can see that we have selected this, and this is what is revealed in there, and all other fields as well, other ID. This is still showing other fields. So let's see what's going on here. So let's see if we select this. Oh, I'm not on the dashboard. So when we do selection on this one, let's see what we have on this. You can see this has changed, but this is still the same thing. So we need to go over to the sheet and see why. You can see that it has false selected as well. We just want true value, and that's why it has not affected. It's okay, this is true. So just verify all of the ones to make sure that it's untrue. Cool. So that's one implemented. So based on the selection, you can see that our parameter is this one, and that will affect the filter. You can see it's based on the order ID 3, based on the order ID 3, and we can view or see each of the information of the good details. And again, you can see this one as well, order ID 3 as one of it, although this is showing both. Let's just go over and verify. Okay, it's based on true. So this is what's investigating, but we can verify that this is true, but this should be a data issue thing, but it's not from the filter itself. So because this is the only thing working for us, so we have been able to implement that, and we can go ahead to do the dashboard go to action as well. We can add dashboard actions, go to sheets from a search page. Once that selection is done on our target sheet, we will go to our customer orders dashboard. All right, not well spelled. Put and click OK. Let me just change the spelling for this one. All right, and so let's go back to the search page. So once we click on the first order, we have it in here. It's already pre-filtered, and we can see information based on that. And on each of this dashboard, you can put navigation buttons to say, okay, please go to dashboard 1, 2, 3, and you'll be good to go. And that's if you want to see how I use navigation buttons or how to use it, you can go to my previous video that I've made, and you'll be able to see how navigations are used within tiled objects and even floating objects using parameters as well. So I can decide to put, go to good details, apply, okay, go to instruments, apply, okay, and you'll be able to navigate from one dashboard to another. This is for insurance info. So the experience will be very seamless for the user of the dashboard. They come into the first search button, they come in and say, oh, what's your name? And they come to search, okay, your customer this. All right, you have just 2 orders, you want information on this particular order, fine. I click on that, I can see that this is pre-filtered and it was shipped on this date, so the value was this one. And you can go to the second dashboard to say, oh, this is your installment plan for that particular order, this and this were the information, and there we have it. I hope you find this video useful, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.